Welcome to the Sami Cone Show at Home Edition. Today we'll be revisiting some of our viewers' favorite segments, including how to keep your kids safe online, make ahead breakfast recipes, and rethinking yoga. Plus, I'm giving you my moms, dads, and grads gift guide. Stay tuned.
From the NewsChannel 5 Network, this is the Sami Cone Show, sponsored by Soundwaves at Gaylord Opryland.
Let's face it, we all spend probably too much of our time online these days. So what does it take to not only stay safe for yourself and your family, but also protect your privacy? Today I am joined by Titania Jordan. She is an expert on parenting in a tech world. Thank you for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me.
It is a joy. I can't tell you how many questions I get asked about this constantly. Can you help us please break down the madness?
Yes.
Where do we need to start with all this?
Absolutely. So the first thing you can do, everybody watching out there, is just take a deep breath. We are the first generation.
Let's all do that.
Yeah. In through the nose,
okay.
out through the mouth,
Good.
relax the shoulders.
Yes.
Now we're grounded.
Okay.
We're the first generation of parents that have to parent in this tech world. Our parents didn't have to deal with this.
Yeah.
They worried about the mall, the movie theater, rock and roll, right? Maybe rap. We're dealing with Snapchat, Instagram, VPNs, Vault apps, you name it. We've got to now worry about it. And we're not necessarily all tech experts.
Yeah.
So again, take a deep breath. Second of all, have open and honest conversations with your children, starting at an early age.
Yeah.
Case in point, you might not feel comfortable bringing up the topic of online predators with your 5-year-old. That's understandable. Start talking about tricky people and how there are people who aren't who they actually say they are that might try to trick you online.
Yeah.
So if you're gaming and somebody starts to chat with you, it might not be your friend or somebody your same age.
That's good. You said a lot of acronyms just then, a lot of fancy words. That's something that you warn people about, or there's dangerous apps out there. And what I found surprising that we talked about is that there's apps that disguise other apps.
Yeah, I mentioned Vault apps.
Yes.
So there are apps that are disguised to hide inappropriate content, photos, etc. One thing to look for, if your child has more than one calculator app on their phone, chances are they don't love math that much. It's an app designed to hide, photographs.
That's crazy.
That's why it's so important. Most of you parents out there watching, I'm assuming you're on Facebook. If so, you need to A, like the Sami Cone Show, B, join Parenting in a Tech World. It's a private Facebook group of over 40,000 parents where we're talking about these things every hour. Sammy's there, I'm there, and we're holding our mugs and we're
in it
holding
together.
our breaths. Yeah.
What are some of the free options that are available that people probably have in their homes already, on their phones, on their devices that they're not using?
Thank you so much for bringing that up. So thankfully, your internet service provider, your cable service provider, the devices that you have in your home, whether it's an iPad or an Android-based device or a Kindle, they all have free baked-in parental controls. It's a quick Google search away to figure out how to implement them. Again, come to the Parenting in a Tech World Facebook group. We've got tutorials there for you.
Yeah. And there are some paid options as well that different companies offer. Can you talk about some of those?
Absolutely, yeah. There's Circle. So you may have heard of Circle. It actually blocks and limits screen time. That's a big concern of parents. Then there's Bark. Bark is tech that will monitor your children's social media, texting, and email, and then alert you when there's signs of cyberbullying, adult content, violent mental health issues, because if children are spending upwards of 8 hours a day online, chances are that's where those things are going to happen.
And that's what I love. We use Bark with our teenagers, and this is something that parents, grandparents, schools even, I want to make sure we get that in.
Yes.
But with the teenagers, I saw it told me, literally, Bark told me, this saved you 8 hours of going online instead of scrolling through all of your kids' messages, Instagram, Snapchat, all those things. Like you said, it alerts you. And the thing that I like about it is that my kids know about it.
Right.
It's not secret. I'm not going behind their back. They know it's on there, and they know that if something comes up, we're going to have a conversation about it, not go and throw them in a locked room or a bubble until they're 18, because chances are they're going to get on it anyway.
That's the thing. You don't give your kids the keys to the car without getting car insurance and driver's ed. You don't let them ride a bike without a helmet. Don't give them a smartphone or a tool that can access the internet without some sort of safety precautions in place.
Yeah, I want our viewers to see a little bit of how Bark works and the notification. So we're going to run some video about what they'll see if they go online, if you know that'll pop up on their phone. You can look per child, you can look per device. It's really pretty extensive and yet so easy to use and manage.
Well, it's made by a parent for parents.
Yeah.
Our CEO is a dad of two who left Twitter to start this company because there were no good options on the market at the time.
That's great. Well, I mentioned the school. There is options for schools if you're an administrator. We have to wrap up, but I want to encourage people to go to the Sami Cone Show. If you have questions, we actually have a discount code for a free trial.
That's right.
And 20% off if you use Sami Cone. Again, we'll have all of this online at the Sami Cone Show. Thank you so much to Tanya for being here today. This is such valuable information. Please make sure you visit us at the Sami Cone Show for more information on how you can save and protect your family with Bark.
Yoga may have been around for centuries, but it still brings up tons of questions, and that's why I brought one of my favorite yoga girls and founder of Abundant Yoga, Kalia Anderson. Welcome to the show. I have so much I want to talk to you about, but let's kind of break it down. You at Abundant Yoga have a Christ-centered yoga experience. Can you talk to us about that before we get into the practice? Because I know as someone that loves Jesus, I sometimes feel torn between, am I doing something that's against my religion, or talk to me about that.
Sure. There are so many misconceptions and misunderstandings. The first thing I usually speak to is that yoga was around long before Hinduism. So people usually say, like, is this a Hindu practice? And I say, no, it is movement. So, and then people often ask me, what's the difference in what you do at Abundant Yoga? And I say everything is centered around the Word. So we have either a scripture or a message that the class is built around. We have movement, and then we have prayer. So that makes it different.
And God is the author of everything, so everything you do unto the Lord. Okay, well, we're going to continue to talk, but I want to do some poses, some practice. I know I, for one, have thought of so many excuses why not to do yoga. I'm not flexible enough, ranging to I don't get to talk for an hour, which can be troublesome. So where would we start? We've got a lot of things down here. Talk to us about that.
So we have lots of props. And it could easily be something from your home. Blanket, pillow from your couch. The first thing we would start with is no shoes and the hair tied back. So you could move. We have blankets on our mats because many times beginners are going to start on your knees. So if you'll join me on your knees. The blanket's going to support the knees. You don't have to have the blanket, but it is helpful. And so maybe we might start in a simple tabletop position. We would start with fluid movement for the spine. So we'd spread the fingers wide, we'd root into the mat, and let our breath guide our movement. So we would take an inhale and look up, perhaps, and arch the spine. And then we'd take an exhale and round like an angry cat and push the floor away and scoop the belly up. And then let that movement and breath be linked together. So inhale, drop and look up. Exhale, scoop and press away. And this might start to take different forms as we perhaps come to the center line and take it to the right and look over your right shoulder and see your right foot and take this lateral movement and then through the midline and look over the left shoulder.
And just those simple movement, I mean, I don't know if it's good or embarrassing that my back is cracking.
No, it's good. I always say a good yoga class would save you a trip to the chiropractor.
Okay,
good. We can maybe stretch the left leg out behind us and begin to work balance, reaching the right hand.
Sure, Kalia, we can work balance.
Yeah, and so the core muscles have to engage. The hips have to engage.
Now see, the athlete in me, it's like, I got to keep up with her, but it's not a competition, right?
Not a competition. It's a place to really work out the tightness and then to also reflect. So maybe we change sides, the left arm's forward, the right leg's back. And this movement can become even more fluid. So if you want to drop your left hand and leave your right leg in the air, we can inhale and reach the toes back, and exhale, pull the knee outside the elbow, and start to move the hip. Reach across the midline, look over the left shoulder and see your foot. Exhale, pull it right back outside the elbow. So not a competition, not a place to compete or compare, because there's so many of us do.
Yeah.
But really a place to notice in your body. I often say, like, the yoga is a metaphor. What happens on your mat's a metaphor for your life. So where on the mat do you feel tight? Do you feel tense? Do you feel resistance? And then ask yourself, like, where in my life am I hustling, or I'm performing, or I'm striving? And where could I just, like, let go and let God? Or where could I be still and know that He's in control?
Well, and you know, I've been to your studio, and I love it. You have a Be Still class, and the things where all fears coming into yoga, I felt like it almost is counteractive to that. Tell us about those types of classes.
Sure, and that's intentional. We the reason it's named Abundant Yoga is because it's abundant.
Yeah.
And we try to make it an environment that's inclusive. To say lots of prop use, lots of opportunity for you to hit your knees and pray, slow your breath, and just really notice. Much of our life is let's go, 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 go. Let's get it all done. Let's check all the boxes, and then go to bed and get up and do it the next day. Let's hustle. And so I just for 2020, I've been trying to say to my staff and my community, like, less hustle and more healing. I love it. Less striving and more being still.
Yeah, and you have a theme every month. Your theme this month is simple. Tell us before we run out of time, tell us about the specials that you have for the studio this month, especially for newcomers.
So for newcomers in the new year, we're doing 40 days for $40. So yoga for $1 a day, pretty good. We also are going to extend to the Sami Cone viewers. If you come to the studio and say that you saw us here, you can have your first class free. So come and try it.
And where can people find the studio?
The studio is on the corner of Franklin Road and Moores Lane, right at the line of Brentwood and Franklin. It's Abundant Yoga Studio. You can find us at abundantyoga.com, and then our handle is @AbundantYoga.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all will take advantage of this offer and just try something new for the new year, whether it's practicing for the first time or going deeper. I really think you're going to benefit from it. Hope to see you at Abundant Yoga soon.
Well, we're all busy, and who doesn't need some help getting ready in the mornings? We're going to demonstrate 2 quick and easy make-ahead breakfasts, one sweet and one savory, with one of my favorite chefs, Laura Lee. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yes.
I'm so good. I'm so good.
This is super exciting to me. I have your cookbook, and it is dog-eared and Post-it noted and everything, because your recipes are some of the first that my family all loved, just across the board. And so you're going to tell us today how we can not only save time, but really eat better without following any one sort of meal plan, which is what I love about your cooking.
Yes, 100%, and thank you for that. That's so kind. That means the world to me.
Well, it was a revolution for our family.
Thank you.
Tell us what we're going to make here today.
Yep, so we have 2 easy on-the-go breakfasts, as you said, one sweet and one savory.
Right.
They're totally customizable, easy to throw together, and they'll last for the whole week, which is awesome.
Okay.
So over here we have our sweet. These are my pumpkin ginger snap overnight oats. They're really yummy, great for this time of the year. Exactly.
What do we need to do?
So if you actually want to start with our liquidy mixture, this is some pumpkin puree, some canned full-fat coconut milk, and some yogurt, some canned Greek yogurt. Yep.
All easily accessible.
Yep, really easy to find. Just make sure that you're not getting the pumpkin filling. You're actually getting the pumpkin, just the canned pumpkin.
Good point.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then we have some maple syrup right here and a little bit of molasses, and that's what's going to give it that ginger snap flavor. But you know what? If you don't have it, do not worry about it. Not a big deal. Don't go buy molasses just for this.
Okay.
Then we have some rolled oats. This is 3/4 cup rolled oats. And y'all can see this is just a dump and stir recipe. Chia seeds. Now the chia seeds are kind of important because that's what's going to hold it all together.
I was going to say that acts as a
thicken
thickener. Okay.
Make it into a nice gelatinous consistency that I promise is actually super delicious. And then our spices. Now if you just have cinnamon, which most people have, you can just use cinnamon. But if you want to add some ginger and some nutmeg, that's also going to give it kind of that pumpkin spice flavor.
Perfect.
And then we have, this is actually pecan butter, but you could use any nut butter.
Pecan butter.
Oh
Laura
my gosh,
Lee.
that's so good. You can get it at Costco.
Tell me.
I know. Pecan butter, it's just pureed pecans. It's incredible. It's divine. But you could use almond butter. You could use peanut butter. You could
is
leave
it that
this out.
color?
Yeah, it's a nice
It
dark
looks like there's chocolate in it.
roasted color. Yeah, it's
Can
just
we
those
put
roasted
chocolate in
pecans.
this?
100%. There is a no wrong time for chocolate.
Right.
Morning, noon, and
Love
night.
it.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
And that is the primary mixture for the overnight oats.
Great.
And you'll see right now it looks pretty liquidy, but you're going to put this in the refrigerator and it's going to get nice and thick. And so I actually have these little cups and we can kind of portion them out. If you just want to do one, I can show you. In terms of toppings, you can use whatever you want.
Okay.
I have some sauteed apples. I've sauteed them with a little bit of maple syrup, some butter and some cinnamon, and then some chopped pecans. And so you'll just,
we'll just dollop that. Okay, I want to make sure we don't miss our savory. This looks delicious. And again, can be made overnight, set in the fridge,
and
ready the next day. Awesome. Okay, what's our savory?
So for our savory, we have these breakfast wraps. Now these are also completely customizable, whatever you want to do. Now what I have is a piece of aluminum foil, your wrap, and then if you want to put one together
let me do that.
And I just prep this
Because if I can do it,
Oh,
surely
I mean,
anyone can do
anyone can do this. 100%.
I feel like kids could do this too. Like
yes,
my
they
kids
could definitely do this. It's a great way to get them in the kitchen.
And these are gluten-free? Is that right?
These are sprouted.
Sprouted,
Now,
okay.
These are sprouted. You could do gluten-free. You could do a regular old tortilla. It's all good.
Okay.
So these are just some scrambled eggs. So they're scrambled with some spices, which is kind of why they have a little bit of a darker color. So you'll put on your scrambled eggs. You could do fried eggs if you prefer. And then over here we have some cheese, whatever kind of cheese you like. You could definitely leave the cheese off, or you could do dairy-free cheese or some great shredded brands. This is some pasture-raised local ground breakfast sausage that I've cooked up, so you can do that.
So you don't have to give up sausage even if you're trying to.
Definitely not, but quality is important with meat.
That
it
makes
really
sense.
is. You could do bacon, you could leave it off. And then I like to add some kind of a veggie. So this is some baby spinach that I've sauteed and then squeezed out the water. You could use frozen, but you could use literally any veggie you can possibly imagine.
We have just a few seconds left.
So if you want to put that right here.
Okay.
And you'll just wrap it up.
Okay. Tell us about what's coming up. What's your next project?
Yes, so I have my second cookbook. This is my first cookbook, which came out about 2.5 years ago, and my second cookbook will be available this April. So I'm really excited about it.
Cannot wait. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back. Enjoy these recipes at home with your kids too. Time of year where we get to celebrate those we love. We're talking about moms, dads, and grads. But because things look a little different this year, it's really important to be thoughtful with your gifts. Am I right?
Yes.
So I brought my daughter Karis to help me talk through some ideas, and these are some things that we have given and also received, right? We've kind of gone from our own house, but also picked out some things that are new that I wanted to make sure you knew about. So can we start with moms? I mean, Mother's Day is coming up. There's still time to shop. I would like to start with this Cecilia tote from Able. Now, this tote is one of those things that I almost debated putting with the grads because it is so multifunctional. I think when you graduate, especially if you're getting ready to go to college, it's great to have a multi-purpose bag. You can put your laptop in. This color goes with so many outfits. And even though Able is local here in Nashville, they employ women all around the world. Plus, they're really great about customer service. I had, you know that tote, that over-the-shoulder tote I have? Yes. One of the straps came loose because I'm a little tough on my bags, admittedly, and they were willing to either replace it or repair it, either one. So I love that their customer service is there. You know you've got bags for life. Plus, these new Bali hoops, I love. Like, it's not just your regular hoop.
It's a really cool shape. I really like them.
And I feel like it will make my face look longer and leaner.
Sure.
Sure, can we go with that? Okay. So the Bali hoops are great. I also love that Able does a lot of gold jewelry that isn't super expensive, but we know it's going to last. I also need to mention books. I love books, especially during the quarantine. This new book from Barbara Rainey, My Heart Ever His, Prayers for Women, is not only beautiful, it's just one of those books that I love having on my nightstand, but it is so inspirational as well. So I think that's great for moms, if I had to say so myself. Okay. Should we move to dads?
Yes.
Okay. Watches, I know the men in our household love a good watch. They can't get enough. And these wood watches are just something that I think are so unique,
But again, they go with a lot of different things. We've got the Jord watch, the WeWood, and I would really recommend we have this cover, or this case, I guess you would say, from Fossil. Having somewhere nice to display them is great. We had found this at Opry Mills originally, but you can get those online as well at Fossil. And then also from Able is this slim wallet, and I guess I can leave it down here. But this is something that my husband has loved because he doesn't like to have anything bulky in his pocket, and so you can carry your necessary cards, some cash, but it still looks really slim and is, again, just great to look at. The Sami Cone mug is it's not available for sale, but I want to say I've got a great deal where you can get free coffee, and I mean, most dads love coffee in the morning, and why wouldn't you drink it in a Sami Cone Show mug? We'll work on that. Yeah. Grads. You're not graduating quite yet, but I had to enlist the help. I feel like the things that I wanted when I graduated may have changed just slightly. So will you help talk us through some of these? Well, I guess I'll talk and you can tell us why. But the tripod, we have this Ubezi tripod, and this guy, can you Vanna White our remote? So this is a tripod that you can use, I feel like, not only for Zoom calls that is happening, but then vlogging, right? Yes. So many people are starting their vlogs or their TikToks. And so this is about $20, $25, and it comes with the remote, so you don't have to go self-timer and run back. You can actually, you just click and you've got it. So this is a really affordable option. You can go horizontal or vertical with your phone with this. This Coach bag we got you as a gift. It's an over-the-shoulder. It's got plenty of room for your phone and wallet, but it's not too bulky. And I feel like teens, grads really want something that they could even throw into a tote like this, but also if they're just running out with friends, it's got all the essentials like your lipstick, keys. Right. Yes. Speaking of lipstick, this has become a new favorite of ours, right?
Yes.
Why do you love this?
It's so, it's just a really nice color, and I feel like it can go like with anyone, anybody can use it, and it really makes your lips feel like glossy and very soft. I love it.
I agree. And it kind of tailors to your own lip color. It just enhances, even though it looks red, it just enhances your lip color. It's a lip oil, and that's on Amazon. I'll link to all of these on the SamiConeShow.com, so don't worry. We'll make sure you know where to find them. The Able necklace, so Karis has been really looking at my Able initial necklace. This is their new initial necklace that they just came out with, so we had to include that because I think that is a great gift for any graduate. And then finally, we have the gimbal here. Now, this is about a $70, $80 price point, depending on what brand that you get. But again, if you've got someone that's interested in doing filmmaking or videos or just wanting to do something fun, especially now that we can't do everything together, this is a great way to get out and become your own filmmaker. Did we do good?
Yes, we did.
Okay, so whether you have moms, dads, or grads in your life, make sure you check out our gift guide at theSamiConeShow.com, and you'll be set to celebrate this spring. Before I go, I need you to know we're all in this together. Yes, a la High School Musical. We can all come together when times get tough. So reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Love those that you're still at home with, and try something new because you've got this. I know you can do it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next The Sami Cone Show.